Hello friends, I'm Louie Louie and today I'll talk about power trios. In the second half of the 60s, power trios were the latest wave. One bass player, one guitar player and one drummer. No more than that. Featuring this classic format, a lot of bands made history, such as the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Cream, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, among others. Never in rock and roll history had only 3 people made so much noise, and the top 5 today presents some great songs recorded by these great power trios. Here we go. 5. Texas Flood by Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. Stevie Ray Vaughan died very early in 1990 when he was only 35 years old, but even have lived so little, he formed one of the greatest power trios in rock history, with the addition of drummer Chris Layton and bass player Tommy Shannon. He formed Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, a band which blended rock and roll and blues in a very nice way. Texas Flood, the title track from the album released in 1983, was the beginning of everything, in my opinion, one of the greatest power trio songs, and I think a good start for this top 5. 4. Working Man by Rush. Yes, the Canadian band formed by Geddy Lee on bass, keyboards and vocals, Neil Peart on drums, and Alex Lifeson on guitar. I think Rush could be considered an exception regarding the overall sound basically played by power trios. If the majority of power trios played basic rock and roll and blues, the Canadian bands leaned more on hard rock and progressive rock. In the 80s, Rush also injected keyboards and synthesizers into their music. Of course, Rush is a great power trio, and Working Man was recorded for their debut album, released in 1974, still featuring original drummer John Rutsey. 3. Message in a Bottle by The Police. The greatest power trio of the 80s, The Police was formed by bass player and vocalist Sting, legendary drummer Stuart Copeland, and guitar player Andy Summers. Together they released 5 albums between 1978 and 1983. In 2007, the band reunited again and scheduled a huge world tour. The band started every concert with Message in a Bottle, probably their greatest hit. Even almost 25 years after their split, The Police proved that they still were a great power trio. 2. Sunshine of Your Love, Cream. Maybe the band that better synthesizes the power trios concept, formed by Eric Clapton on guitar, Jack Bruce on bass and Ginger Baker on drums. Cream blended rock and roll and blues like few bands could. In my opinion, Sunshine of Your Love, also recorded by the Jimi Hendrix Experience and by great guitar player Carlos Santana, is Cream's crowning achievement. The song is featured on the Disraeli Gears album, released in 1967, a real treat from the psychedelia period and the power trio concept, obviously. 1. Purple Race by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. When we talk about guitar players, we talk about Jimi Hendrix, but few people remember that he didn't make it by himself. The great musicians with which he played were also responsible for Jimi's huge success. Besides him, the Jimi Hendrix Experience was formed by bass player Noel Redding and drummer Mick Mitchell. Together they made history as one of the greatest power trios, in my opinion the greatest power trio of all time. If you have any doubt, please listen to Purple Race. Nay, listen to the entire Experience album, released in 1967. We will not regret it. So this is our top 5, the greatest power trios of all time. A lot of other great power trios are out of my list, indeed, such as Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Nirvana, The Jam, Stray Cats, Motorhead, Beck Bogart and a Piece. And I want to know, in your opinion, what's the greatest power trio of all time? Maybe a different one, sure, if you want, no problem. Please subscribe to our channel. Bye bye and see you soon.